Well, hey guys, and welcome back to episode 2 of Space Engineers Prototech. I don't know. Hunting for Prototech. Let's do that one. Because I still have not made up my mind for a name. I may have said a different one at the beginning, but let's say go on Hunt for Prototech. Let's do that one. The Hunt for Prototech. That's a good one. Well, I'm Nair, and I hope you guys are going to enjoy this episode, and welcome. Well, before we start, please check if you're subscribed, of course, and if you like it, why not? And you get the messages when I upload something, and you can never miss something new. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy the buzzard. Is there, guys? The buzzard is a drone. You don't. Oh my, no. You luckily you're not rushing here. Well, last time we had almost war with the Keshki. At the end of the day, it didn't come close enough. With like 1.5 kilometers, it's going to be a problem. Also, bioluminescence is not how it should work. It's just the game. Because space engineers, everybody knows space engineers is a bit sucky sometimes. Because it's still buggy as hell, even though they are already going for the second game. Maybe because it was just impossible to fix all the bugs from space engineers, which I would completely understand. Because, well, the game is just not good in case of bugs. Every other game is better if you're going to compare bugs. Well, anyways, let's see. Where do I need to place this one? 3, 1, 2, 3, and here. Let's think 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then this pole. I think here. This is a guess. I don't know for sure. I honestly hope this is the place, because I really do not want to have to break the thing down again. Once I find out when I place the wind turbine that it doesn't fit. Well, this is gonna be kind of the episodes in the next few, well, days, I think. No, not days. Well, like maybe to episode 3, I'm gonna be preparing the base, like next episode. And then we're slowly going to expand and prepare, of course, in the future with newer technologies and ships. Because we need a miner, we need a welder, we need a remote controlled ship that has a place I can stand in, so I can place blocks. The whole reason for that one is that well, the game is not really giving an opportunity to do it any different. Also, I'm doing this right now because I want to make sure it fits, otherwise I'm bottling things up for absolutely nothing. I'm not really a fan of that practice. Okay, it fits. That's good. That means that I can take this apart, because that's gonna work with that. So yeah, I hope we don't fall today. And the biggest challenge is to get something going eventually, not this episode. I just do not have the resources or the technologies for it yet. That can... Oh, white cat. Okay. That allows me to make new ships, the technology. Because, well, I may have the technology to get a basic ship going. Sure, I do have that one. Just not the resources. I do not want the basic ship. Sure, it may be a good start, but it doesn't do any justice in the long run. Long run, you want to start off quite sophisticated if possible. Also need to stay here. Why this? Because then we know that it is still not done. Otherwise, we can see it. No, we can. And I always skip it, and when once like a drone starts shooting it, it completely rips off that wind turbine very quickly, which is not ideal in my opinion. Also, we need to get a couple thousand iron plates. Why so many? Oh, because we need to build up that tower and probably another one besides. And a plate stamp. I want to start slowly starting a basic factory to start getting resources I'm gonna need for my actual permanent factory. Which is gonna take a while to get to, but getting the resources for it is not gonna hurt anyone. So yeah, from every machine, like one is good. Every basic machine, of course. There are some absolutely sophisticated machines. We do not want one of those, unless we are gonna build our permanent factory, because those sophisticated machines we do not need for most of the things we do. We do not have copper wires, do we? Yes, we do have 2,000 more storage in here, so we can do a little bit more. We also have still that other thing that we could technically store things in. Oh, this is, by the way, the moment. I mean, like, how much are they producing? It's going down. It's already half, and it's going down very fast. So yeah, what I was telling last episode, there is fog on this planet. It also is on Earth and Mars, but this one has it surprisingly often. That completely diminishes all your power production with wind turbines, and so does it do the same thing with solar panels, of course, because it's fog, it blocks the sun. So yeah, you lose a lot of your power production of this. Like, to mitigate this, I think it's best to try and start building batteries ASAP. I didn't do that on my testing world, because and now I constantly am in trouble for power, because well I never did that, and once this situation happens, I'm just out of power. I can run maybe one or two machines at the same time, whilst you have like 12 different machines, and some machines you have two of. And some machines take 8 megawatts, some even more, and some about 1.5 megawatts. So it's a bit problematic. If one tower at maximum produces 1.5, a machine can run on less, but not much less. Also, in the meantime, we already lost about 70 kilowatts per wind turbine. It's not just one wind turbine, it's each wind turbine. It's not great. We still see Mars. Oh, it's great. I love that view. That's where I started on this episode because I love it. It's the best view in this area. Maybe we can make it better with when we slowly start building an actual base. I don't want an underground base. I want an above ground base, even though we technically have meteorites. I haven't seen them fall yet or get a message that they were falling. And we have this thing, and we can remove you. Now we go down whilst welding the pillar. Why is the pillar square? Well, because I don't want to build all those other things. I don't even know if I can, because probably they're gonna have interior plates, and those interior plates in this mod are aluminium plates. For aluminium plates you need bauxite, and that is one of the things I have only found once before playing with this mod. It is underground. It is just incredibly rare. We have double production of power now, and we did that in how many minutes? 15 minutes. Well, not even 50 minutes, because the beginning of the episode was an intro, and that doesn't count as in the minutes, I would say, right? Does it count? I would say not, because we're not doing much during an intro. Oh, this is gonna be not that fun. I don't like having to always separately grind down these ramps. Or if I ground down this bottom bit, I would have been fuming. I would have hated that one. The entire thing would have come down and I had to redo that entire monstrosity again from the ground up after grinding down that, but which doesn't fit in the storage. Storage. Where is the storage? Yeah, probably cargo, isn't it? I was actually looking for something different than actual cargo containers, because they are this transport container. If you don't know what this is, it holds a lot of resources and is extremely cheap to make. It just doesn't hook up to any port, so you have to do everything manually with this, which is not the worst. It's just a bit annoying, but it does fit 31,000 liters, which is huge. Given that these are only 2,000 each. There's a massive difference. Also, my oxygen bottle is empty. You see the problem? I need oxygen to breathe on this planet. Well, especially now, because there is absolutely no oxygen in the air at all, which doesn't help. Now there is in my bottle again, which goes into my suit, and my suit is still at 48 though. So it's not that I'm completely out of oxygen, I just don't want to be out of oxygen. Not at all, so I try to do it before. Also the pistols, like there is no real enemies on the ground, so this is very unnecessary. Yeah, there's constantly 2 ships in my spire. Don't know which one that is. I know the Keshki, because Chesky? I don't know how you say that one, but I know it's not a fun enemy. It just homes in on your location after a few hours of playing, and then it was sent out at least a drone, most likely just a drone, sometimes more. It is as fast as the damn blade stamp. That is crazy. The only problem is that it's manual, so you have to put in resources yourself and take out resources. You can't hook it up to the system. But besides that, this does take only 100 kilowatts compared to the how many? 1.5 from the blade stamp. So yeah, if you think about that, it's a huge difference. Also, I'm welding this up because it's ugly in the scaffolding mode. Now I'm slowly making it beautiful. Still a way too small area to work on. It can start not being foggy anymore. Also, I noticed that I have to play this game for a while. I have like 800 hours on it, but I've never really made any airtight spaces unless it was in space itself. Fog also accumulates inside a building that is pressurized and completely airtight. Like, I don't know how that works, but that shouldn't work. Fog can't just generate or appear in a building, right? Well, it couldn't. Outside, okay, but if all the doors are closed and it is completely sealed off of the outside world, how can fog accumulate inside? I was confused about that one. Also, a bit kind of ruins the build. Like, why have you pressurized something when? Yeah, sure, you pressurize for breathing, but why pressurize something when it's practically not keeping out the outside world? Visually, at least, maybe it does functionally do that, but not visually. Also, I want to the spire. I've seen that one before. I completely forgot how it looks like. I do not want to mess up any enemy encounters. So yeah, this thing also needs to hook up to the power grid at some point, but a connector is extremely expensive and I need two. Let's first get the floor going. Just a big, beautiful floor, and both sides eventually. This is gonna be in the middle of a base, I think. Nah, just back here for a couple machines, and eventually maybe a place where I can store some vehicles. Um, but for now it's gonna be the base is gonna extend um that way. Should I do that way? Because that is towards the cliff, right? Oh, I don't like the dark. Let me let me see. Is that towards the cliff or am I stupid? I think it is. Yeah. That's towards the yes. I know. I built this. The cliff is more like that way. I built it a little bit that way, so it's more aiming inside the canyon. So it's so I can exit it on the same grid in the hangar without having to do some finicky, stupid work with corners and angles and all that stuff. Just build a square base. Is that the top is not gonna be square, of course, but on the ground you can't see it unless you're inside. And only then you can see the inside, so it's not that special. I'm playing a lot. I'm playing as I go. It by the way in these games, I never really yeah, never really go in with a full planned out idea and all that stuff. I know a lot of YouTubers do that because it makes the game smoother game experience and the video. But for me, it's not appealing. I want to have a dynamic experience, and that can only be done if you do not pre-plan absolutely everything. I pre-plan the vehicles because I don't want to be completely designing a vehicle on screen. Because that a vehicle design could take up to like 8 hours for me, especially with flying and survival with very limited resources. Because I design my vehicles literally in survival. I could do it in creative, but that doesn't really represent the cost in survival. If I can easily make it in survival, it's doable in survival at all times. If I can't make it in survival, well, then it's less doable. Also, the thing is not based on the overhaul or the tiered items list, those mods. It's not based on that one. You could, of course, always replace components of it towards those mods, but it has a battery of industrial overhaul because I had no option for a lithium battery, which is the normal battery. I only had the possibility for the sulfur battery, which you can easily replace because it's the bare bones. I want to upload it to the how's it called? My God, I've completely forgot how it's called. Workshop. Because if you're gonna use it, you can use it. I try and see if I can get a link to it. Otherwise, I'm gonna eventually share, of course, the name, and you can look it up. But yeah, it's the bare bones. You can completely make it into your own. It is just the functional blocks are in with a few tiny blocks for armor at the back because those are big thrusters. I don't want them to blow up. And the rest is well your own thing. can only fly for a very short time without mods. If you have like a denser hydrogen mod, it can fly longer. And I would say that is fair because hydrogen goes very fast in this game. So it's not really a mod, it's just realism. Because a couple thousand kilos is not gonna drain 50,000 liters of hydrogen in like a minute. But yeah, I could maybe I don't know how I get there, by the way. Here. Well, I have a lot of things here from previously, from older worlds. Yeah, I have. This is well, I downloaded. Maybe I'm gonna print this one out for the big spaceship. Maybe, just maybe. I'm not gonna say I will, but could just be it. This is, by the way, the grid. It has not got a name yet. But yeah, it is a decent miner. It has 2 large storage boxes, 2 large hydrogen tanks, a lot of small hydrogen thrusters, 2 big thrusters, 5 drills, a hydrogen generator. So yeah, if you have some ice, you will always have hydrogen. So if you're almost out of hydrogen, you have ice in your thing, or you can land next to ice. What the hell you just spawned in? You can land next to ice. You can fill it up with the ice with your own drill and load it again. Because I do not want you to run out of hydrogen because it goes pretty fast. Like I said. I'm playing with a 4 times denser hydrogen mod. It is the half of what I have on my own world. But on my own world I can fly like 50 kilometers, go mine, fly back 50 kilometers. I still have like 10% left. So, and that is with using a lot of thrust. It's not like cruising with the front thrusters off. Well, it is technically, but not necessarily. Sometimes I'm using a lot more back thrust than you think. But we'll see. For now, we need to start getting this going. Also, let's go to the second toolbar and go to production. These are all the production facilities. It is a lot of facilities, and so far as I'm aware, only the smelter works. Especially with crushed and purified ores. I don't know if the actual refinery works. If it does, great. But I don't know if it works. Refineries can refine bauxite, titanium, coal, silver, gold, platinum. Oh, that's what I was. I was always trying to do iron and cobalt in it. It can't do iron and cobalt. That is a weird one. Or nickel or silicon. It can't do the basic ones. So we need to mix them up a bit. Scrap metal, silicon, iron, copper, nickel, and cobalt. Yeah, we need to mix them up a bit. Yeah, we need to have like a gasoline refinery eventually, or a rocket fuel refinery. We definitely are gonna need a fabricator and an assembler, but let's go for the basics first, which is a plate stamp, an extruder, a wire drawer, and a microelectronics factory. Last one is impossible to make for me so far because I have no bauxite. Luckily, most things like basic computers are being able to be made in the normal situations. We need ceramics eventually. We need, of course, munitions as fast as possible, preferably. We need the chemical factory, the bitumen extractor, oil cracker, Yeah, at some point uranium centrifuge in the nuclear reprocessor, but that is gonna take forever. That is one of the hardest things to get. I've never gone there because it just takes tons of power to even get there. Of course, I'm not gonna hook them up together yet. Maybe eventually behind the back of it. No, I don't know if I will. Because it is just temporarily. Hooking every single one of them up is just extra work I do not really want. At least I'm not looking forward to it. Okay, plate stamp is done. Then we're gonna see what different kinds of plates are, if you don't know yet. We have the armor plate, which requires titanium plate and a steel plate. Well, 0.1 of them to make one armor plate. That is for heavy armor things, I think, if I'm correct. Composite plates are extremely expensive. They require ceramics, which is not hard to get. Depleted uranium is the big problem. You need to burn uranium to get depleted uranium to get composite plates. Yeah, it is not easy to get that one, and you need armor plate. So this one, it is extremely cheap in case of iron, because it takes 0.3 and 0.3 to get 10 of these, to get then 200 of these. So yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, aluminium for aluminium plates, and these are interior plates, as you see. Nice. That's gonna be fun. Really gonna enjoy that one. Never do, never will. Oh, I actually predicted it. I thought it's gonna need 25 heating components each, and it actually needs heating elements 25 each. I love myself. And that is one. The second is going now, slowly. That's the extruder, which makes girders, large steel tubes, and small steel tubes. Nice. Like, some things are very necessary. And this one, the wire drawer, which kind of says it already, makes copper wires, gold wires, and superconductors, which needs 1.5 gold wires each. That's 0.09 gold. Given that gold is even more rare here than on vanilla, it's not going to be a fun process to get a lot of superconductors. Rubber is easy. Just need the right machine for it. So yeah, when are the meteors gonna fall? I want meteors. I want you. You're gonna be having lithium power cells. That is gonna be huge, but you're 4 kilometers away. It is 400 seconds of walking. Well, do we want to walk 6.5 minutes? I don't think so. One way. Understand? It's one way trip, 6 minutes. Back 6 minutes too. So we're gone for almost 50 minutes if you count the grinding down as well, and maybe walking around problematic edges. I love that view. Lucky they don't turn the planets in this game. It's a bit out of touch with the real world, but because they don't, you always have the same beautiful view of a beautiful planet on the alien. If you have this exact spot, it's just above the horizon from this point. That is absolutely gorgeous. Like, if you go here, it's now on the absolute edge of our horizon. The factory eventually is gonna be huge, but I'm trying to in this map I'm gonna try to get a welder first, so I can do it quickly. Cause well, hand welding is not the most interesting thing you can do, is it? Also, what about landing gear? If we place that here, we place a projector. Beautiful projector. Landing gear first. We need something that goes to small grid. That also can transfer through power and hydrogen. Because, oh, hydrogen doesn't power through, that's it. We need to just fill it up with some hydrogen. I need to first gonna have to make a printer array, I think. Yeah, let's do that first. Let's get the first a printer array. Also, let's make a grinder array as well, I think. Because there is some outposts that spawn if you move a lot. From Assert, for example, or just the pirates. So yeah. This thing is not gonna be necessary because I'm not gonna do it by hand. By hand, that thing by hand, there you're gonna miss a lot. Doing it with a printer array, on the other hand, is gonna be way better. So if you go to do welders, now you need gravity components, and quantum computers, and superconductors. Oh, this thing is gonna be hell. I'm never gonna make this one. Maybe eventually, but not for now. These are, by the way, sort of Prototech things. A normal welder is extremely affordable. Nice. That's gonna be there. Then we need pistons. How affordable are those? Yes, the 4-button panel. And we need... What do we need? Oh, something to not die. Railings. Maybe that's a good plan. Railings. Okay, to get all this going, it is gonna be expensive. Also, where am I gonna place this thing? This over here seems like almost a perfect place. Okay, how much? I have a lot to place, that's good. This is the middle of a base, so if I go right here. I am going to be very early with this welder array, but I've never built a welder array in my life, by the way. So don't blame me if it's completely, if it actually sucks and built absolutely wrong, because I have no knowledge of how to build a good one. Just no knowledge. This is completely freestyling. If it sucks, it sucks. If it's good, it's good. Oh, by the way, I messed up. This needs to be pipeline. Or at least back there. I have not put pipeline in. Nice. Nice one, Nair. Let's take it down. No. Make a hole in the ground. Not fun. Nice. And remove this. It made a hole in the ground, guys. It's not good. Well, it's not fun. Okay, this needs to be out of here. Do we need 30 meters? We don't need 30 meters, do we? Well, best way to know is by welding these things up and extending them towards there, seeing how far it gets. We don't need to weld up anything else for now. Let's just weld up the pistons. This is not going to be finished this day, of course. It's also getting light. For next episode, it's going to be a lot lighter. This is going to be just a start of what I'm going to do. This base is going to be huge. I am planning on at least to make it huge. I hope this is going to be looking very mighty eventually. Mighty base. Not too huge that it's gonna cause so much lag I can't even play. It's not far enough, so we need indeed a third piston. Reversing one piston is enough. Let's wait a minute until it's far enough back. Nice. Yep. Let's go and get the resources for the third piston. After that, we can. Let's remove this one right now. Because I'm going to hit it if I don't. With the piston, and that's gonna cause a lot of clang and blow up the entire base if I'm not careful. I wish to not have that happening. Maybe. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a lot of jumping. Nice, not having a jetpack. It's actually a kind of annoying challenge because you're always bound to the floor. You have no option of going up. Unless you build like a contraption with like a rover or a flyer that allows you to go up. Okay, I'm almost scared that it's gonna hit. Okay, that is almost perfect. Let's see, if we say the third maximum distance is gonna be 6 meters. Let's reverse it back to 6 and see if the welders fit. So if we try to fit the welders, okay, they fit now. So this should be having a way of getting resources to the welders. That is, oh no, why is it so high up? It's so high up from here. It's so annoying. Or, I keep it. Let me think about it. Maybe I'm going to lift up one. Not the pistons, but the welder head. Oh my goodness, I jump over. I'm gonna finish this, at least the look of the welder array before the end of the episode, man. I'm not gonna waste more time. So what it means is that I'm doing this. And on top of that is where the welders will go. Which means the welders are gonna be higher than the floor. Which is what I need. Oh, that is thunder. I have not turned on damage from lightning on purpose. That is not the bug I want. Like, I know lightning is very dangerous, and if you have a lot of lightning, your base is not gonna survive very long. It's gonna be a single big grid. I do need to use inertia tensor. I see him wobbling already. Wobbly wobbly. So yeah, this is how the array is most likely gonna look like. Big, not too big. 3 pistons, 15 welders. Is quite a lot of welders, but I want this to work. Better safe than sorry. A lot of, yeah, the pipeline is already laid down. There's no storage or facility that is at all hooked up to any pipeline. So that is still very non-functional. But I try to get it as quickly as possible. But for now, this is done. We made quite some progress, more than last time even. We got a beautiful new tower. So we now produce about 3 megawatts of power when it's clear outside. We have a plate stamp, an extruder, a wire drawer, and 2 smelters. Not used yet. We got another point for a new tower. It's right here. And technically the other point is right here. It is not gonna be here, because that's where the welder array is. But technically it is right here. By the way I did this, it allows me to place floor underneath the welders now, while still being able to walk down and up. But yeah, we got a welder array with function of pistons. We have the pistons at the maximum distance. We just need to make a group of them, share inertia tensor, make them slower. That is a major part of this. They need to be slower, not that much slower, but yeah. And I got the button panel going. So yeah, a lot of progress, more than last time, significantly more than last time. And well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We are going slowly towards ships. We don't even have a rover yet, but that's beside the point. I'm gonna probably want a temporary rover just to scout out around the area to get some visuals of resources, because ice is also very scarce and the miner is hydrogen powered. So without ice, it doesn't fly. And when you have no ice and you have a miner that's supposed to get ice that runs on hydrogen, how do you move that miner? Maybe I should technically design a battery miner, but in this mod it's just not worth it, I think. You are pretty much stuck on one spot, aren't you? Not my problem. Sunflower. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and otherwise, why not? It's free, you can always change your mind if you don't watch it anymore. And if you subscribe, you actually get messages that I upload something new, so you never miss a new video. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. This was Space Engineers, and I'm Nair, and I see you in the next episode. Bye bye.